Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to our first PU Computer Science online classes. Now in today's class we are going to start new chapter. Name of the chapter, chapter 6. Name of the chapter, object oriented concept. Now let's in today's class or in this class we are going to discuss about our object, class and some of the general concept of the OOPS here, that is modularity, data abstraction, data encapsulation, and also the inheritance, polymorphism, dynamic binding, message passing, and also some of the advantages of the OOPS as well as disadvantage, and final point is the application of the OOPS here. Okay, now we know that we are going to study all those characteristics or some of the point in this chapter. Now let's, in this class I am going to start from first, that is introduction and evolution of programming languages. The evolution is called as the history of the programming languages here. Okay, so this is the concept. The concept is the introduction and evolution of the programming languages here. So as we know that today computer technology has developed, correct Nokia? That means in this case we can say that has developed at such a faster rate. There is no any doubt today whatever the program is that for any type of the work, sure we are going to think about our computer. So just I want to start from the word in this chapter, that is our today our computer technology has developed at such faster rate. And also we can say that not only the computer here, because of software industry, some of the or most of the software industry is also growing at the same rate, correct Nokia? And we know that by using computer we can solve any type of the program, whether it is a simple program or maybe it's a complex or called as the problematic programs here. So the operations are becoming more and more complex. The meaning of the operation here, the program, clear this point here. Sometime we are going to solve a simple program and sometime we are going to solve a problematic program such is called as the operation. So the operations are more and more complex in this case, and whatever the operation we are going to solve, that is called as more user friendly also. So what's the meaning of the user friendly here? The meaning of the user friendly, we can say that when we are going to solve any program, the user should not have any doubt while going to solve the program here. That means the program should give correct direction to the user, should get the correct result. If you are getting the correct result, if you don't have any doubt, such program is called as the user friendly program here. And later the software engineer felt that it was very difficult to implement or develop the complex program using traditional programming approach. We know that we are in the concept of programming language. In this concept I want to tell some of the programming language here. So just I am telling here in this case here the explanation about the programming language, but maybe the problem is simple. Okay, we can use the traditional programming language here. That means some of the examples are that procedural and structured programming languages are called as the traditional programming language, but simple program we can solve by using structured and procedural programming language here. But is it possible to solve the complex program, problematic problem by using the traditional programming language? So just only I want to tell here, so in this case, that means our engineer, the software engineer felt that it was very difficult to develop the programming language using the complex programming design using the traditional programming language here. The traditional programming languages are the procedural languages and the structured programming languages here. Clear this point here? So the programming language that adopted the procedural and structured programming languages are, the first language is the C, Pascal and COBOL. Clear this point here? So the C, it is a language, COBOL, common business oriented language, and the Pascal, all these are called as the programming language. But which type of programming language? All these are the traditional programming languages here. We know that by using simple program we can solve the traditional programming language. We can use the traditional programming language to solve the simple program. But when you are going to design the complex program, it's not possible to solve by using, why? Because such program will give, or the language will give some problem while going to solve the program here. So clear this point here? So we can say that the programming language that adopted the procedural and structured programming languages were here the C, Pascal and the COBOL, and these languages mainly deal with the data and the algorithm. Clear this point here? The traditional programming language, the example for the traditional programming languages, the procedural and structured programming language here. So some procedural and structured programming languages are, the procedures are the Pascal and the COBOL, and structured programming language, the suitable example we can say as the C language is called as the structured programming language here. But by using such language we can solve simple program, but very difficult to solve the complex, that is called as the problematic problems here. And we know that what's the disadvantage of the traditional programming language, that is called as the procedural and structured programming language. This language mainly deal with the two important aspects. The aspects are the data and the algorithm. Correct, Nokia? Now let's the meaning of the data and the algorithm. So the data is the main substance of the program. So in program, if you are not using, not declaring the variable, is it possible to get the result? No. So before going to start any program, we should know what are the variable we need to use in the program. Correct, Nokia? So that is called as the data here. So here we can say that the data is the main substance, the most important thing in the program here, and the algorithm are the methods that use these programs. And as we know that the meaning of the algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve a given problem. Correct, no? So maybe algorithm step 1 start. Step 2, we need to input A and B. Step 3, then maybe it's a addition of two numbers, then sure we are going to add the numbers by using the variable sum. So sum, that is A plus B, and maybe in case you want to make the average of two numbers, then sure we need to use the variable average, and later A and B going to divide by 2 here, and finally after that we will get the output by using this next step here, output sum and also the output average, and finally we are going to stop the algorithm by using the last step. So here we can say that we know that why, because this traditional programming languages, that is the procedural and structured programming language, mainly deal with important aspects are the data. We know that without data it's not possible to solve the program. Here is the main substance of the program here, and later algorithm, we know how to write the algorithm or the method we need to use in this program while going to solve the program here. And later the engineer found that the programming was, that means whatever the traditional method of programming was expensive. So all are the disadvantage of the traditional programming languages, that is called as the procedural and structured programming languages. So the traditional method of programming was expensive, clear this point here, and also very lengthy in this case here, and the error prone. What about the error prone? The meaning of the error prone is called as that means it giving so much error in the program, clear this point, and very difficult to correct all these errors here, and lacked reusability. That means it not possible to use the code again and again in other program or maybe in the same program here, and very difficult to maintain all these codes. So all are the disadvantage of the traditional programming languages, that is called as the structured and procedural programming languages, clear this point here. Because of this reason, this lead to the development of the new programming languages, and which was called as the OOPS, clear this point. The meaning or the full form of the OOPS is the object oriented programming system concept, clear this point. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ? Now we are in the concept of introduction and the history of the programming language. First of all, ನಾನು OOPS ಹೇಳುವ ಮುಂಚೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸೊ some of the traditional programming language, procedural and structured programming language. So some example are the C, Pascal and the COBOL are called as the traditional and our traditional programming languages. But also we can say that all this language mainly deal with data and the algorithm. So all are very difficult to understand and modify, correct? No? So because we know that what's the disadvantage of the traditional programming language? The disadvantage is that means such program was very lengthy here, and the error prone, also lacked reusability and expensive also when you are going to compare with the OOPS languages here, and so much disadvantages are there. Because of this reason this lead to the development of the new programming language, and such programming language is called as the OOPS here. So the full form of the OOPS called as the object oriented programming system concept, clear this part. Okay, now after knowing the some point in case of the OOPS in this case, now we are going to discuss about our procedural programming languages. Okay, now we are in the concept of the procedural programming languages here. So we can say that our procedural programming languages mainly focus on the processing of the instructions. Clear this point here? Today also we using some of the instruction in the program while going to complete any type of the program, but also when you are going to compare with the OOPS and the traditional programming languages, the programming languages that is called as the procedural programming languages, such programming languages mainly deal with the work or focus on the processing of the instructions. That means if you are writing the instruction properly, then only it possible to get the correct execution or the result or the output of the program here. So mainly deal with the processing of the instructions in order to get the desired calculation result, clear this point here. And also we can say that therefore it more giving importance to the algorithm, clear this point here. So that means here first of all, while going to solve the program, first of all we need to write the algorithm. So we can say that therefore it emphasizes more on doing the things on the algorithm here. And also finally we can say that the programming using procedural languages set a threat as the length and complexity of the problem increased, clear this point. Maybe the problem is very smaller, very simple, then no any problem, but when you are going to increase the length of the program, or whenever the complexity of the program or the program going to do some of the complexity in the problem here or the program, on that time it is very difficult to understand and modify the program. So this is the disadvantage of the procedural programming languages. So clear the disadvantage. Why? Because the first disadvantage is the processing of the instruction. That means it giving more importance to the instruction. If your instruction is proper in the program here, so it using many type of the instructions here. So if the instructions are proper, then only we can get the correct result. Correct, no? Here that means the desired calculation result in this case here. And also we can say that it giving more importance in case of the algorithm. So this is the second disadvantage of the procedural programming language here. And the third point, we can say that when any problem going to increase, that means the length of the problem going to increase, it providing some of these or set a threat to the user here how to solve the problem here. And also we can say that the programming using procedural programming language make use of branching statement. That means we know that the meaning of the branching statement. We already know what about the construct here. In branch means the selection construct, and in case of the selection construct, we know the some important construct like our if else, correct, no? And simple if, and also if else if construct here, nested if construct, switch construct. Maybe the condition is true, then only the statement going to execute. Maybe the condition is not going to match, it not going to execute the statement, and just it going to move forward to check the next condition, correct, no? So like that only we can say that the procedural programming make use of the branching statement here, where the flow of control changes its path. Maybe I already said about this one. Maybe the condition is true, then only it executing the statement here. So maybe anywhere it going to change their path. That is called as the way of the control expressions, or the okay here, the way of the test condition here. So each and everything whatever is there in this case here, where the flow of control changes its path according to the result of the test condition. So it was very difficult to understand and modify. So all are the disadvantage of the procedural programming languages. So clear the disadvantage of the procedural programming language. Okay, now after completing the procedure, now next thing about our structured programming languages here. Structured programming languages, we know that the meaning of some or some of the point about our procedural programming languages. Now our next thing about our structured programming languages. Okay, now the difficulties in procedural programming languages. What are the difficulties or the disadvantage of the procedural programming languages? That means it make the use of branching statement, correct, no here? That means it depend on the condition. If the condition is matching, then only it executing the statement, or we can say that where the flow of control changes its path according to the result of the test condition, correct, no here? So very difficult to understand and modify and think about the condition here. So this is the first disadvantages, and also we can say some other disadvantages are it giving more importance to the algorithm, correct, no? And also it giving more importance to the processing of the instructions. So all are the difficulties in our procedural programming languages. So we can say the difficulties in procedural programming language give a way to the scientists to develop new programming language. Such new programming language is called as the C programming language. Clear this point here? That means some of the procedural programming, we know that Pascal and the COBOL here, that means it depend on the processing of the instruction. If instructions are proper, then only we can execute the program without any problem here. But maybe if any problem in our instruction, then it's not possible to get the result here. Because of these problems, the scientist need to develop a new programming language. The new programming language is called as the C programming language here, and when we can say that the C programming language was better programming language when you are going to compare with our procedural programming language, that is called as the Pascal and the COBOL. Clear this point here? Okay, now after knowing some point here, we can say here it give or in this case it give a new idea to the programming language. The programming language is called as the structured programming language here, and the structured programming language is an organized programming language, disciplinary programming language here, and here also the branching statement is very limited when you are going to compare with our procedural programming language. Clear this point here? So we know the branching statement, that means here also we are using some of the condition, but here the condition and the statement, when you are going to compare with the procedural, the less number of statement or the branching statement we will get in case of a structured programming languages here. So clear in this case? Okay, the structured programming, that means here it is providing a limited branching system in this case here, or which limited the branching system, and also it involving the use of three basic control structures. That means while going to solve the program, we need to use the three important basic programming construct or the sequence. We know the meaning of the sequence, correct? No? And later next one, branch. The branch only called as the selection construct here. So it is the ability of the programming language here to select the statement for execution based on the condition. Some of the condition it providing, that is simple if else here, and if else if, nested if, switch. So all are the condition, and this statement depend on the condition, it going to execute the statement here. And also we can say that also the use of the iteration. We know the meaning of the iteration. The iteration only called as the loops. So it is the ability of the programming language to repeat the set of this statement again and again until the given condition becomes satisfied. Till where the condition is going to satisfy, till there we are going to get the result or the output of the program. If such condition is false, then only it going to stop the that means stop the output of the program here. So this is about our iteration, correct? No? So we can say that the structured programming in our, when you are going to compare such structured programming providing a limited branching statement here, as well as it also providing the three most important uses of the constructs are the, one is the selection, second one is the loop here, and third one is called as the sequence. And also it providing the most important concept, that is the top down concept. And in our top down concept we know that to decompose the main function into lower level components for modular coding purposes. So whatever I said, maybe it is one program, one single program. So in this case we are not going to solve such a single program one at a time. Such program is going to divide into part by part. Such program is going to divide into unit, and such unit is also called as the module. Clear this point? And each module is developed by different people, so resulting in faster code development. So we can say that. So in case of the concept like our top down concept, the meaning of the top down concept means here decompose the main function. Maybe one single program is there, such program going to divide into many units, and like that they are going to solve the problem here. So decompose the main function into lower level components for modular coding purposes. So this is some of the advantage of the structured programming languages. So clear this point about the structured programming language. What are the example for this structured programming language? The best example, suitable example for our structured programming language, that is called as the C programming language. And when you are going to compare, C language is very better when you are going to compare with the Pascal and the COBOL programming language. Okay here? And also we can say that the procedural programming providing a lengthy branching statement, but in case of the structured programming providing a limited branching statement. Clear? Here the limited branching statement, and also the structured programming providing or involving or giving a three important constructs are the sequence, selection, that is called as the branch, and also the loop. The loop only called as the iteration. Clear this one here? And also this structured programming using one more concept. The name of the concept is called as the top down design, and we know the meaning of the top down design. Here one lengthy program going to divide into many units, so like that they are going to solve the problems here. So but also, well, because we know that we need to say some important thing about our OOPS here. So before going to start the OOPS meaning, I want to tell some of the main disadvantage of the procedural and structured programming language. So the main drawback, that is called as the disadvantage. Clear this one? The drawback meaning the disadvantage here, the limitations. So the major drawback of both this procedural programming language and structured programming language is that it is very difficult to design the program using these methods. Clear this one here? So that means maybe the problem is when you are going to solve a simple problem, then it's okay, it very easily we can get the output, but maybe the problem is complex, problematic, then very difficult to solve the problem here. So this is the main disadvantage of both these programming languages. So here we can say that it is very difficult to design or model the real world entities by using all those programming languages or by using these methods here. Clear this one? Okay, now we completed just only the data, some point about the data and the algorithm, and also we know that the full form of the OOPS in this case here, and also some point about the procedural programming languages, maybe the advantage, disadvantage here, and also finally about our structured programming language here. And now after completing some of the advantage and the disadvantage of both programming languages, now I want to select the main thing about our OOPS here, and we know that the full form of the OOPS is the object oriented programming languages or object oriented programming system concept. Okay, now this is the diagram, and in this diagram there are three classes are there, or we can say that in each class the two important objects are there. The first object name is the data, second object name is the function. So this class name is the object X. Now in this class the name of the class is the object Y, and also two important objects are, one is the data and the functions here, and here totally three classes are there. In each classes two important objects, one is the object, that is the data, and second one is the functions, and just only the sum of the functions joined from one class to the another class here. So this is one simple diagram about the objects. Now we are going to discuss about our OOPS here. So we know that the OOPS is a concept or it is a programming language. Now we are not in the concept of procedural programming language or maybe in the concept of the structured programming language. Now just I selected one more programming language. The name of the programming language is the OOPS. We know the full form of the OOPS is the object oriented programming system concept here, and we know that it is a concept, it is a programming language, and such programming language combines the data and the function. Correct no? ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂರು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೂ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಒನ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿನ ಹೆಸರು ಡಾಟಾ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿನ ಹೆಸರು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ದಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್, third class data and function. In each class we will get the two important objects. Correct? We know that. Okay, and we can say that it is a concept and that combines the data and the functions into a single unit called the class. Correct? No, the data that combines the data and function here into a single unit, that is called as the class here, and the function that operate by using such data only. Clear this one? How the function going to operate, how it possible to get the output of this program here. So whatever the data is that, such data just used by the functions that are present inside the class. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಎವ್ರಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ಈಚ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಒನ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿನ ಹೆಸರು ಡಾಟಾ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿನ ಹೆಸರು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಿಯಾ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ವಿದೌಟ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಇಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೋ? ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ, ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ದಿ ಡಾಟಾ ಕಿಯಾ, ಅಂಡ್ ಸಚ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್. ಆ ಡಾಟಾವನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿನ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್? ಆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿನ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ನವರು ಆ ಡಾಟಾವನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ದಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ದಿ ಡಾಟಾ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ದಟ್ ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಆರ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಸಚ್ ಡಾಟಾ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ? ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಈ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಅಗೇನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ರಿಪೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ ಅದರ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ ಅದರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಯಾ. So again just last time I want to repeat here, in each class two important object, one is the data and the functions here, and such function that means whatever the data is there, such data is used by the functions, correct? No, the function that operate on that data into a single unit, that is called as the object X here. Or maybe if you are going to take object Y, data and function is there, and such data is used or operate just only by our function into a single unit, that is called as the object, correct? No, okay, now we know that. Now just we stopped in the point object. So I want to say some point about the object in this case here. So object is an identifiable entity. So ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಮೇ ಬಿ this is the object, and how we are going to identify by using their name. The name is the pen, correct? No, or maybe the second object, it is called as the duster. Clear this point here? It is one type of the object here. Or maybe the third object when you are going to use. Now this is the third object. So how we are going to identify? By using the name. The name of the object is called as the book here. So like that we can say that the object is an identifiable entity, and it contains some of the characteristics and the behaviors. Clear this one here? Or maybe if you are going to take the last object example, this is called as the chalk, and such object contain or it contain some of the characteristics and the behavior, that is called as the features. Okay kya? Okay, now laterwards I want to say some example for the object by using one best example for the object here. So before going to say the example of the object here, I want to say here the object oriented programming, when you are going to compare, is very simple programming language, and also such programming language improves the software reusability. What about the software reusability? That means whatever the code is that such code it possible to use maybe in same program, or maybe it possible to use in many other program here. So the object oriented programming language is very simple programming language, as well as such programming language improves the software reusability, correct? No, yeah? Okay, now I already said about the object. The meaning of the object is an identifiable entity, and such object contains some of the characteristics and the behavior, correct? No, okay, now say we can say that the one object name, the name of the object is your very best friend, that is, and the best friend only I want to use the name of your very best friend, that is the mobile phone, correct? No, kya? Okay, so we can say the mobile phone is an object, and its characteristics are, so some of the characteristics of the mobile phones are color of the mobile phone, display of the mobile phone, correct here? Or size of the mobile phone, maybe we will get in small size, or maybe the large size, the size of the mobile phone here, and also the weight of the mobile phone. Some mobile phone will get in lightweight, or maybe some are in heavy, correct? Yeah, so the characteristics ಗೆ ನಾನು ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ಒಂದು ಕಲರ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಫೋನ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ ನಾನು ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ವೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಫೋನ್, and the fourth one is called as the fourth one we can say as the weight, color, display, each and everything, correct? No, all are called as the characteristics of the mobile phone. Now features ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಳ್ಬಹುದು, or we can say it include some of the features are the price of the mobile phone, the video call of the mobile phone here, video call or the voice call, or the memory size, etc. are comes in case of the features of the mobile phone. So in our OP, or here in case of the OP consider the characteristics as the data and feature as the functions. Clear this one? ಯಾ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ? ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಫೋನಿನ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಮ್ಮ OP ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ 2 ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ದಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಡಾಟಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿ functions here. So one example ನಾನು object ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. The object name is the mobile phone. So I already said the object is an identifiable entity and it contains some of the characteristics and the behavior. Correct? No? It contains some of the characteristics and the behavior here. So in case of the mobile phone, some of the characteristics are color, display, weight, correct no kya? The size of the mobile phone, features ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಪ್ರೈಸ್, ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್, ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕಾಲ್, ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಸೈಜ್. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಾವು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ OP we can say that the characteristics as the data and feature as the functions. Clear this one here? So this is the first thing. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ನಮಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹುಡುಕಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ ಡಾಟಾಕ್ಕೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸರಿಯಾದ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನಮಗೆ ಹುಡುಕಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ವೈಲ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ದಿ OP ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಎನಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅವರ್ OP ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಓಕೆ, ನೌ ದಿಸ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ದಿ ಟಾಪ್ ಡೌನ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್. ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ದಟ್ the OP not only just to follow our object planning method, the OP also follows the concept. The name of the concept is called as the top down design concept. Okay, ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ ಆಗ ನಮಗೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು, ಅದರೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ದಿ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ ಟಾಪ್ ಡೌನ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. Yeah, now the meaning of the object, as we know that is an identifiable entity. For object we can use some of the example like mobile phone. Correct? No, we can identify it's a mobile phone, or maybe some other examples are chalk, stick, or maybe we can use as the book, duster. So all are the example for the object we can identify. And we know that maybe if any object, it contains some of the characteristics and the behavior. And when you are going to take the example of the mobile phone, so it contains the characteristics are the color of the mobile or display of the mobile, size of the mobile here, or the weight of the mobile. It called as the characteristics of the mobile phone. And when you are going to think about the features of the mobile phone, so some features we can say as the price, correct here, video call, voice call, or the memory size. So we can say that the here OP consider the characteristics as the data and feature as the functions. And we know that in one class both data and function, the class can hold both data and the functions. Correct? No, without a data it not possible to do any operation to our function here, or just only if you are using the data, that means no any operation going to occur in a class here. So we can say that in a class it contains both the object are the data and the functions. Okay, now we completed the meaning of the object. What's the meaning of the object here? And also we give one example for the object here. The object is the mobile phone, and I already said some of the characteristics of the mobile phone as well as the features of the mobile phone. Okay, now after completing, now let's go to our second, that is the top down design. Our OP language or programming language not just only using the concept of the object, the OP also follows one more concept. The concept name is the top down design concept. And we know that the meaning of the top down design concept is an approach of dividing a problem into sub problem. Correct? No, that means here we can say we are not going to solve any problem just by using it in a single unit. Correct? No, Yeah, so maybe this is one of the program or the problem here, and such problem or the program we are not going to select at a single page. Such page is going to divide into sub problems. So like that we are going to divide and we are going to solve, we are going to execute, or we will get the output of the program here. So we can say that the top down design concept means is an approach of dividing a problem into sub problem and then dividing the sub problem further until that means into a smaller sub problem. And why we using all those methods? Just only to get the solution of the program. That means until they can be implemented for the solution of the program or the problem. So this is the concept of the top down design. So in our OP language, or when you are going to use the concept, or when you are going to solve any problem by using the OOPS, we know the full form of the OOPS, object oriented programming system concept. When you are going to solve any problem by using the OOPS language, not just only we are using the concept of the object, also we need to follow one more design concept. The name of the design concept is the top down design concept, and we know that what's the meaning of the top down design concept. A lengthy problem is going to divide into smaller sub problems, correct here? So this is about top down design concept. And later next one is about our bottom up design. We know that it is the reverse of the top down design, correct? No? So or we can say okay, it is the reverse of the top down design here. So in case of the top down design, we are going to solve from the top based manner here, from one to another, but here the anything is going to solve from the downside. In this case we already know, I already completed the diagram about our top down design as well as the bottom up design here. But in case of the bottom up design, we can say that just one solution to the smaller modulus are integrated together. That means just only we are going to solve one smaller programs only. By using the concept of the bottom up design, we are not going to solve any lengthy program, but maybe the problem is lengthy in this case. That means by using the top down design concept, we can solve such program, no any problem. But in case of the bottom up design, when you are going to select the bottom up design concept, then here just only we are using the smaller programs only. The smaller moduli are integrated together to find solution of the overall program. Clear this one here? Okay, so that means we are going to follow objective here and also following the top down design concept design method while going to solve the OOPS program, and also we need to follow our bottom up design concept method. Okay, and lastly we can say about the class. So what about the meaning of the class? Now this is called as the class, or maybe the class name is the student. Okay, the class name is the student, and we know that the class can hold both data and the functions. So depend on the class name, I am going to select the data for the class. Okay, and also the function we need to use maybe the get data. That means we are going to get the information of the student, or maybe whatever the information we get it here on that later words we are going to display such a data. That means here the two important functions I am going to use. For maybe the data I am using the register number, okay, the class of the student here and the name of the student, or maybe the address of the student. So this is called as the data of the class student here, and for the function I am using get data and the display data. So whatever the data that means here I whatever the data we get it, such one going to display by using the operations like our get data and the display data here. Clear this point? So now the meaning of the class. So the another important concept with respect to our OP, that is the class. A class serves as a plan or blueprint. That means here we can say that maybe the class name is the student. So is it able to take the data as the fruits? No, it's not possible. So depend on the class name we are going to collect the data, correct? No. So the suitable data for the class student, the data are register number, name, class, address. So all are the or the combination we can take, we can select here as a data for the class student here, or maybe the class name is the fruits. So what are the members or what are the data you are going to collect? For the class name is the fruit means the data we are going to collect as the apple, banana, mango, chiku. Clear this point here? So depend on the class we are going to collect the data here, or maybe the class name is the solar system. Okay, the class name is the solar system. That means sure here we are going to collect the data as the planet, sun, moon, all are the member of the class solar system here. So depend on the class name we are going to collect the data here. So here we can say that the class that specifies what data and what function should be included in the object of that class. Clear this point here? So maybe depend on the class name we are going to select the data and the functions. So clear now about our class here? That means the class that specifies what type of data or what type of function should we need to include in the object of that class here. Or in simple meaning, the class we can say as the is a template from which objects are created. Clear this one? It is a template from which we are going to create the objects. The objects are the data and the functions. So these are the objects we are going to create in a class here. So the first object is called as the data and second object is called as the functions here, and we know that the function that operate on that data only by using that data only to execute the program. Clear this one? So we can say that it is a template from which objects are created. Here objects means data as well as the functions here, or we can say here that the class that represents here the group of objects. The objects are the data and the functions and which share common properties and the relationship. Clear? The data going to make the or create the relationship with the function and the function creating the relationship with the data here. That means which share these two objects shares or share the property and the relationship. Or lastly we can say that a class is a way of grouping objects having similar characteristics. Clear this one here? So that means the data going to perform the operation with the function and function operating with the by using the data only here is a way of grouping objects. Objects are data and the functions. Clear this one here? And or once a class is defined, any number of objects are created. Clear? There is no any problem. Maybe you want to create in data object if many, okay, the many selection list of the names in the data you can select it. So once the class is defined, any number of object of that class are created. So finally for one more question or a simple meaning for a class can hold both data and the functions. So ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ? ನಾನು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಡಾಟಾ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಾಟಾ ಆರ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ದಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮಿಸ್ it not possible to get the execution of the program here. We need both and both are called as the object of the class, or in simple meaning is called as the group of object, and such group of object we share common properties and the relationship. So clear about this one? So we know that in this class we completed some important concept about the object, the top down design concept, bottom up design concept, and also we need to use when you are going to solve the OOPS program, we need to use one more concept. The concept is the most important concept of the OP, that is called as the class. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.